Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome. Thanks for coming out to this. What we're going to do here is Nick is going to walk through making a meme generator in about 45 minutes from start to finish. Nick works on the Expo project with us. I met him a couple years ago at a dinner party, and he told me that he'd spent his life making video game engines for fun. And so now we're working together on making a game and app engine. And I mentioned in my sort of keynote talk about how people take vacations and go off and make amazing things. Nick actually took a vacation to India and in his grandparents' basement added our whole graphics layer and came back and said surprise. So we're going to use part of that in this demo. So here's Nick.
Hey everyone. So Charlie was talking earlier about Expo. I'm going to show you guys how you can use Expo to make a mobile phone app, which probably is relevant because you're probably going to want to make some sort of application for your hackathon. But yeah, there's a lot to do in the app that I'm going to make, so I'm just going to speed through the intro. But yeah, the tool we're going to use is Expo. To get it, you can go to expo.io, right? And let me just show you that website actually real quick. So if you go to our website, it says download our tools. You go there, and this thing XDE is the Expo developer environment, which is the thing that you run on your computer. That takes your code and then makes it something that the Expo app on your phone can read and run as an application. And after that, you can go on and publish that as an iOS App Store app or a Google Play Store app, just like everyone expects to see. Back on the keynote, I have some other info for you guys. And if you like documentation and Slack channel, I'll remind you guys of that. But yeah, I'm going to dive right into actually making the application now. So in XDE, when you start, you'll see this create a new project thing, which is what you want to click to create a new project. And we're going to call our thing Memify. And it's going to just extract projects files for you. And I'm going to open that in Emacs, but it's actually Emacs with Vim keys. It's sort of weird. Anyways, so I'm going to go there and open Memify. And over there, you'll see a bunch of files. There's a bunch of project files. The main code file for now is app.js. And in there, it'll just say, there's a React component, which is like a JavaScript. React is a JavaScript library for making user interfaces for the web. But we also use that as the way to make native controls. And I'm just going to open this on the iOS simulator by doing this on XDE. So there's a bunch of logs saying, hey, you opened your project and it's running now and stuff like that, which is exciting. And hopefully this should open on the iOS simulator. So the first time it's doing some caching and all this stuff for making it faster the next time you run it. And I'll just go here and change this text so you can see some feedback. But yeah, I think I'm just having slow internet out here, so it's a little janky. But yeah, let's see. I actually need to open the network preference pane because, oh yeah, okay, here we are. Let me see if the PennApps network's better than my iPhone. Sorry about that, folks. All right, let's see. So I do have internet here. Okay. Cool. So the way the project URL works, you can also run it off your local host device instead of running it over the internet. So I'm just going to try that real quick. Here, 1 second. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So okay, cool. That's what I like to see. Yeah. Now I'm gonna start working on actually making the app rather than like being stressed about it not working. So what we're gonna do is let me give you a quick overview of what's going on over here. This is a text component, which is the text that you see on your app, and the view around it is just the white background, and it's like Flex1 says, "Hey, please expand this to the whole screen." But yeah, we're gonna. The first thing we're gonna do is start converting this into a button. So I'm just gonna add a view around it and create a new style for the button and call that button. Add a background color that's like sort of gray, and you actually have Flex, which is like the styling stuff that you get on the web. And maybe this will work. Let's see. So yeah, it's not actually a touchable button right now because it's still like a view, which is the usual static background stuff that you have. But one of the cool things is React Native comes out of the box with a bunch of these controls that includes views that have touch feedback. The one that we care about is called touchable opacity, and we're going to use that, and I'm just going to like make it look nicer. It's like indented and like stuff like that. But I'm going to replace this view with a touchable opacity, like that, and then that is now a touchable button, right? And what I'm going to do is have some feedback when it's pressed. So the on press, these things are called props. There's properties for the component you're working with. I'm going to make it call a function from my class and call that like let's say in my meme generator I want to pick an image. So I'm going to say like pick, or actually let's do pick a picture since it's going to be on the simulator. On pick, right? And I'm going to make a function in the class called onPick. And for now, just console.log that I should do this. And XDE does this like log thing where, okay, cool. So that is working. So what I did there, just for a quick recap, is added a touchable opacity component where the onPress prop is what gets fired when you touch the touchable opacity thing. And I just set it to a member of this, which is the onPick function. So what I'm going to do actually now is start doing something more interesting. Let's add an image component above all of this, and use a URI for that. So we're going to get a URI soon, but actually let's also make that 300 by 300. Now, since we're making a meme generator, I'm just going to start with us off with a Velociraptor. So we'll just get the Velociraptor base image from Know Your Meme. Actually, let's do this better. Let's go to image search. And yeah, that one is empty, which is good. And we'll use that URL over here. Oh yeah, I gotta import image actually from React Native. So we'll do that. Okay, that's good. And as usual with styling things, you can add a margin and stuff like that. For now, let's add that margin around the button. And great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is make it so that you can pick an image from the photo library on your phone and then have that be displayed instead of the Velociraptor when you pick an image, but just have it display the Velociraptor initially. So if you're familiar with React, actually let's go in the other direction. So first, let me show you what the Expo API for asking for an image from your image library looks like, right? So this is the Expo documentation, which you can get to from our homepage and then go into documentation and guides. And you can see a bunch of APIs that we have. We have like Facebook login, we have like OpenGL graphic stuff, native map view. But the thing that we're interested in right now is image picker, which is what lets us have the user choose an image and have the application use the image they chose. So we're just gonna use that call over here with no options. So that's an async call, and basically what that means is like your JavaScript function actually is going to continue running after this call, and this happens in the background. But the gist of it all is like Expo's API calls are generally async, and so you want to do this await thing. Probably better explanations can be found online than what I just said. So yeah, I'm just going to log that URI just to see that I actually got something, and then go over here and say, pick a picture and say, yeah, please access my photos, and go here, and it's just gonna have hopefully logged that, and this is just the URL, the local file colon URL for that file on your phone, right? And if we were to display that in our image, then we would actually get that, right? So what I'm gonna do is, this is a React thing, but you can have state inside your component. And then I'm going to initialize this image URI to that. Go here, put that there, and then use there, and set this to but only do that when, so one thing that's important is the user might cancel picking the image, right? And so if they cancel it, we don't want to actually do anything. So the result of this call is an object containing whether it was canceled or not and the URI and stuff like that. So we're just going to like also read canceled out of that call, and then not do anything if it's canceled, but then otherwise set it to that URI. I'm going to go back here now and then pick something. Okay, cool. That looks good. So yeah, the next thing we probably want to do is start adding text over this image. So what I'm going to do is we have an image component here. I'm actually going to just replace that with a view that's going to contain that image and text over it positioned absolutely, so that that text like overlaps the view, right? And we'll keep the view the way it is. Add a margin around this, and add a text component. So one of the key things here is the ordering matters, because the stuff that comes after a previous component is rendered over it. So if you were to do this before, like it might get hidden. But yeah, over here, let's just style it to be absolutely positioned. Getting a bit ahead of myself there with the typing, but let's do left 5, top 5, right 5, and then like color white. Hopefully all this actually does something. Also, we want a background color that's transparent. Okay, and then I'm just going to write something here. So yeah, so you can see that there's a text over there. And then we're just going to make that text really fat because meme image macros have fat text on them. So let's say font size 28 and font weight 900. So where is that stuff coming from, right? So if you search React Native text component, you'll see the styling that the text component supports. And this is true for other things in React Native. You'll just find documentation online. But yeah, you can see like font weight is a thing over there, along with everything else that I just used. And yeah, so if you go back here now, yeah, that looks better. And we'll also, actually, I think it's text align, center. Okay, so yeah, and we'll do that twice. So let's just factor that out into a common style. And then over here, we'll just use that styles.text. We want this to be on the bottom and that to be on the top. So what we're going to do is just remove this top thing and just let them have the same left and right. And then one of the things you can do with styles is if you give an array of styles, it actually clobbers the later styles over the previous ones.
Is there a way where you can just share what is the
Yeah, for sure. Oh, you're downloading the stuff?
Yeah, people are still downloading the
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you like share the code that I have so far? Okay, cool. So yeah, I could send that on the Slack channel that everyone is in. Yeah. Let's see. So maybe I should like set up a Git repository and then, okay, cool. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get to GitHub and like log in. Oh wait, this is a register. Let's see. All right, let's see, sign in. Oh, great, okay. Don't use this code, please. Okay. What is this? I'm gonna use it really quickly, so you can't. Okay, cool. So Nikki93 is my username, and the repository is going to be called Memeify. Okay, and then what we'll do is okay, so you should see the code over there now. All right, so let me just get back to this. And what I'm going to do is inherit and then do a top 5 and then a bottom 5 on the other one, so we get both, which is good. And beyond this, what I wanted to do was make it so that you can have 2 text inputs in your program, and then have separate inputs for the top and bottom text, and that way people can, create a meme that they want to create. So for that, let me just commit actually what I have until now. Let's see. So that looks good. Just gonna push it. Okay, and then let's add in the state top text and then bottom text. That thing, by the way, was this Git plugin that I have in Emacs. It's pretty great. It's called Magit, Magit. If you guys want to use that. But it's only sort of relevant, so don't get distracted by it. All right, let's see. I'll add a text input here. And if you go to React Native documentation again, text inputs are a thing. And we'll go there. They have this default example of a text input, which is what I usually consult, because as it turns out, it's just hard to remember all of the props. So let's do height 40. So align self is this prop that says how you're aligned in your parent. We're just going to make it stretch to the entire parent, add a margin of 5 around it, and a padding of 5 inside. So that was a lot, but hopefully it starts looking like things. That doesn't look like a thing. So you just need to import text input. Okay, cool. And what we're going to do now is this onChange text prop takes a function, and then that function gets an argument, which is the new text. We're going to set our state to that text so that we can show that text in our image macro. So we'll use that field that we added for top text. So. And lastly, what you want to do here is actually use that text in the visual. So over here, it's like, great, that looks good. Again, we're going to do that twice. So let's, again, factor out the style. Go down here, call that style input, and go to the text input and add it for that style. So do that twice. Once for the bottom, once for the top text. I'm just going to add space around here so it's clear which part's what. And, oops, oh, that's right. So over here, I need to show the bottom text for the bottom. And once we have that, okay, good. And you can also pick a picture and have that come over it. And yeah, the next thing I wanted to get at was, so let's see, what's changed so far? Yeah, okay, so let's just say like added text. So this way, actually, this is sort of nice because you guys can see what the changes are over time. And then the next thing that would be nice to do is make it so you can save the image macro that you created to your phone, right? For that, we're gonna actually use an Expo API called take snapshot async, which takes a view in your current application and can screenshot that into an image. So it takes as a parameter the ref corresponding to the component that you want to refer to. And what a ref is this React thing. So it's just a way to save a reference to a component for use later. And the way it works is you just set a prop ref to a function that takes the ref and then saves it somewhere. So that's probably going to be our surrounding view, and we're going to just do a function that'll save the ref as this.meme view. That's the name for the view. And we'll add a button, just like the button we've had so far, and call it save, right? So let's see. Yeah. do this take snapshot async function. So again, it's async, so you want to do await. And pass it the ref that we just saved. And then now that we have the URI for the image, we want to actually save that to the camera roll, which you can get from the React Native camera roll API. So, which is again a Google search away, and this is yet another API from React Native that lets you save an image to the camera roll given a tag to it, which could be a file URI, which is what take snapshot async, as this says, like gives you like a file URI, right? So we'll go there and then just do camera roll dot, I forget the name of the function, so let's go back. Save to camera roll, that's right. Save to camera roll URI. So we need to import that, so we'll do that. Let's see. So yeah, so if I go to photos now, oops, did I actually do that wrong? Let's see. Another, while I think about how to figure out the camera roll thing, I'm going to try and run this actually on my phone, because so far you've just seen it on the simulator, and it's only 9:34, so we still have time. So let me get a QuickTime mirror off my phone, and then, yeah, that's all my GitHub tokens. Don't look at that. Let me just open Expo, and what you can do is you can scan a QR code off XDE to open your application. And this has been like sort of giving me trouble on this network, which is why I didn't do it. So let's see. Switch to. Oh, that's true. I need to get off. Get on LAN here. So yeah, usually it works over the internet. And right now I'm going to try LAN. So yeah. Oh, wait, I need to actually mirror you my device. Okay, here. So this is my phone. You can see. That's good. Let me say something clever. I can't think of anything clever right now. So I can't think of anything clever right now. So yeah, and then I'm just going to hit save and see if the problem was that it was the simulator. And nope, it wasn't. Okay, so let's try to do the camera roll API better. Take snapshot async. Is that meme view? Oh, wait. Okay, let's log the URI, and see if that URI looks like a URI that would work, and then temporarily forget about that. So we'll go back to XDE. And okay, I'll go back to the app here. Oh, great, we got an error. Okay, so all right, let's see. Find. Oh, okay. So I think this meme view thing is undefined, and yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I just referred to the variable. I didn't actually set it to the ref. So I'll set it to the ref this time. And if I do that, maybe it'll work, right? So go back and actually, let's go all the way and not debug anymore. So yeah, and I'll just open Expo again and come here. Okay, and let's see. Okay, great. So, thank you. Yeah, so far we have saving and we have, making memes, which is the whole point of this app. But what would be awesome is if you could take pictures and memify those. So pictures are not so interesting on the simulator, but they're interesting on my phone. So I'll switch to QuickTime again, so you can see my phone, and then come here and. For now, let's wrap all of these buttons inside a horizontal view so they're next to each other. So this flex stuff, it might seem weird. It's probably because it actually is sort of weird. But like all of the documentation on how flex works is online. And trust me, it's actually way easier to use than manually styling everything's position. With the usual native APIs. And yeah, so now we have, I'm just gonna start showing you this window instead. Okay, so now we have them next to each other. And then what I'll do is add, instead of pick a pick, we're gonna add take a pick too. So we'll replace pick with take. And let's say on, oops, don't do that. Okay, so over here, call it take. So launch image library async. There's also a launch camera async, which is also documented in image picker. Just like launch image library, you have launch camera. And it has the same format of everything else. So we'll see if that works. So hope you don't mind, but I might take a picture of all of you. So let's see. These are my new friends. Okay, so all right, cool. So that's all of most of you, maybe. Okay, and then use photo. Okay, great. So we have it working. And I'm gonna save that. And okay, all of you are now on my iPhone device. So yeah, so now we have camera, and I still have 10 minutes left before 10 minutes before this thing ends. So I'm gonna add image uploading also. Wait, how much time do you have? 15 minutes? Okay. Okay, just to show you how to do network requests also. Wait, what's so exciting? I want to know too. Okay, but so just to show you how to do network requests, which is probably very important for making applications for you guys. I don't really want to write a server right now, so there's this service called uploads.im where you just send it this HTTP request, and they don't do any authorization, and you can just upload pictures, as it turns out. So we're going to use this free image upload API. And let me just save this and push it up for you guys. So I added save to camera roll and taking pictures. So added save to camera roll photos. Let's do that. Okay, so go back and I'll add an on upload button. So we'll do the same thing except replace save with upload. And this is going to be a fun one. So let's start off by doing the same thing that we did for camera roll. We'll just get a local URI to a saved version of the meme. And what we want to do now is send a request to this URL, HTTP uploads IAM API. But we need to upload an image. And they also support the addition of the image as form data in that HTTP request. And if you go to the fetch API, which is how HTTP requests are usually done on React Native, you'll see that its format is fetch, the URL, and then a bunch of options. So we can say method post because that's what this thing is hoping for. And for the body, let's see if that's documented over here, but we can actually use a form data object. And it's not documented on this page, but there's actually a public example called Expo image uploader example, where you can see how to upload images using that fetch call. And it's actually the same as for front-end code for a website. And this is what it looks like. So you just create a new form data object and append that thing. So given all that, let's actually do this. So I'm going to make a form data object. The parameter was called upload for this API. And the URI that you provided is the local URI of the file you want to upload. And that's called URI in this case, so we can actually just do that. And what this means in JavaScript, like in the new JavaScript, by the way, is that's what that means, but you can just omit typing that twice. So let's call it upload.png, and yeah, and we'll just do okay, so what fetch does is return an object that is also a promise, so you have to do like await, and we'll pass it these options. So we're going to do a post method, right? And so far that is what's relevant here. And we'll go here and log that object as JSON. So if you do like fetch API in general, like you'll see, and you just like spelling through the documents a bit, and you'll see like the response has this like JSON method which converts the JSON in there to an object that you can read off of. So we'll do that and then see what it looks like. Yeah, okay, so I think that should work. Wait, fetch this thing. Okay, cool. So for now, I'm just gonna open XDE, and this time let's just use a simulator because that's easier. And go here and just type something here. Okay, so I got back this response, which has that image URL, and that's that image online, right? So now if, by the way, so this is like an image upload from the phone. So now if I go back to, let's see, if I go back to this format over here, it says like .data.image underscore URL should be the URL of the image. And then if we get that thing out, so let's just like do this. Oops, that was too much deletion. Okay. Yeah, you can share using React Native Share API. The result that you get using the normal share dialog of the device. So like on iOS, that would show you like copy this or send a message to someone or something like that. It'll make more sense when I actually show it to you, so let's just do that. img URL, that's what it says over there. So, and I need to import share from React Native. So So that's this thing, by the way. This API documentation right here. So let's see. JSON data URL. So I'm going to do that, and this time I'll show it to you from my phone. So nothing in particular. And just upload that and hope I get a share dialog. So this is like slow, and I should actually make a feedback mechanism. But let me see, maybe there is an error. Oops. Oh, yeah. So I got this error saying content to share must be a valid object. So the problem was, like, if you go back to the share thing, it needs to be an object that has message, title, URL, stuff like that. And I just gave it a naked string. So what I'm going to do here is like give it URI. Oops, that's actually URL. Okay, so let's do that instead. And then come back here. And this time, I don't really have the patience for this. So I'm just going to do that. And then say upload. And hopefully get a share dialog. Usually what you would do is maybe in your state, like set some value like uploading true or something. And then while uploading is true, you can show some loading bar or something like that. But that's just a lot of work right now. So I'm going to go back here and then say, you can't see it. Okay, just say copy. And then open this and paste here. And yeah, so I just copied that and pasted it, and that way you can paste it into a message to someone else. So yeah, that's a meme generator app. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, also, one thing that Expo lets you do is publish your application so other people who have Expo can try it immediately. You can also make an App Store or a Play Store install thing. But here, so for you guys to try it out, I'm just going to go to XDE and then say publish. And that should start building the app for publishing. And that'll give me a link where you can paste that link into Expo and just use my app directly. But until then, just a few other things. So for if you use Expo and you make really good apps with it, like we have a prize for the best Expo using app where we'll give Nintendo Switches to people. Jimmy, there was something else that you're talking about. Oh yeah. So if you have questions for us, the #Expo channel on the PennApps Slack has all of the Expo people who are here in it, so you can just ask us questions. We're also at Town 311, right? Okay, so we're also at Town 311 where you can just come ask us things in real life. Yeah, and there's like 9 minutes, so does anyone have any questions that they want to ask me?